A city of makers, entrepreneurs, musicians, artists. A city of laughter, memories, and people who welcome others in with a cup of heartwarming handmade coffee. A city of people, young and old, working together. People who explore, live, and grow together. But what makes this place special? Being listed year after year as one of the best places to raise a family. Maybe because we have a community recognized for its safe neighborhoods and revered for its low unemployment. A city where adventure is everywhere you look, where you can pioneer your own story. We've opened a new page to write on for the generations ahead. Welcome to Bismarck. Come write your story.
Greetings, 1 Million Cups Kingdom. I am Joel, but a messenger for the Bismarck Mandan chapter, and I will be your host today. I'm a mouthpiece of the king, if you will, so I have a few things to speak according to his words. We would like to take a census of the people today, so would you take out your cell phones, I believe, and please sign into the 1 Million Cups app. There you'll be able to attend and keep a part of this community. Now, whether you're a peasant or royalty, we want to treat you all as wonderful members of this community. I suppose I should be using the microphone. I forgot about this technology. It's new to me. Can everyone hear me? Okay, so what is 1 Million Cups, you may ask? Well, 1 Million Cups is a free weekly meetup where entrepreneurs take the stage and share their journey. How can we change the face of this kingdom by getting together and joining together as an entrepreneurial ecosystem? Now, with those cell phones that I spoke of earlier, remember, if you're shy and you do not wish to speak before the king after this session is over, you may use this hashtag, 1 Million Cups ND, 1MCND rather. And with that, you will be able to have a voice among this kingdom. Now, at this time, there are some that would like to bring an announcement about maybe a market or maybe a sale of land or something of the sort. So please, come forth.
Tricked me.
Sorry, there's a mic on the ground over there in the corner. No announcements. Good. That's how I like it. Now, I heard that among this kingdom there was a dragon prowling. Now, whenever we hear announcements of this sort, we shudder in fear and we shake in terror. But today I am here to relieve your stresses. This is no normal dragon. This is no winged beast flying through the air, blasting flames and destroying our cities. This is Dragn Grills. Yes, a place, a thing. No, an idea. How can we cook our meat wherever we want? How can we live the life we want, whether in work or play? Dragn Grill is the toughest, most versatile grill ever. With the patented docking plate you can attach to a tailgate, I don't know what that is, backyard kitchen, or the collapsible cart to take this beast anywhere. Please join with me to welcome John and Anton Roise to the stage.
Good morning. Morning. You'll forgive me if I'm a tad less dramatic.
but we'll try to at least be informative of what we're up to here. So I'm John Roise. My brother Anton is my business partner. We own several construction companies and some real estate in town here. We own Capital Exteriors, where we do roofing and siding and seamless gutters. And actually, I subcontract my seamless gutter work to the company Anton is very hands-on managing, which is Capital City Gutters. You've probably seen our white vans driving around with ladders on the roofs. And then we've also bought Superior Steel Supply, which is on Expressway near Acme Tool Crib on Industrial Drive over there. Anyway, so we own and operate these companies, and that's what we're busy doing here. I live in Minokan with my wife. We got 7 kids, and we'll have our 8th in January. Woohoo! Thanks.
Yeah.
And Anton and
Bailey.
Anton and Bailey. I'm sorry. Yeah. Anton and Bailey just had their 2nd, and so we're just glad to have that opportunity today to kind of present to you an idea that occurred to us a few years ago. And so I'll go ahead and get started here. Show you the next slide. Can you see that slide?
Or are these lights
A little bright. I don't know. Maybe it's all right, I guess. Uh-oh. Oh, I bet this isn't the first time this has happened. All right. So we're co-inventors of the Dragn Grill. This is actually got nothing. This photo has nothing to do with our Dragn Grill, but this is an idea.
Just a good photo of us.
Just a good photo. Anton, why don't you tell us about how we...
Okay, so back in 2013, the first thing John and I kind of did together as business partners was we borrowed a whole bunch of money from an uncle and bought flooded out properties in Minot after the 2011 flood. So we were working together, flipping these properties to turn them into rentals. And so we were, on one of them, we were roofing this house, and it was going to take me and John several days. So we would, start early in the morning, go to lunch every single day. And, back in Minot, back then, oil boom, flood, it took an hour and a half to go to lunch. So it was starting to bother me. And so we got back from lunch one day, and I dropped my tailgate, and I set my drink cup on my tailgate, and I was looking at my tailgate, and my bed liner looked like grill grates. And I said to John, why can't my tailgate kind of be a grill? Because then we could just drop the tailgate, grill out, eat good food, close the tailgate, go back to work. He said, that's a really great idea. And I said, partners, so we shook hands on it and went back to work. And then just in the evenings and stuff, we would kind of just chat about it, and we'd start sketching on napkins, and then started liking the idea more and more. And so this was 2013. So, I mean, kind of just years of evenings of talking about it and sketching. And then at one point, we went to Home Depot, bought a $99 countertop grill, cut the legs off of it, and used our rain gutter screws and screwed it to the tailgate of my truck. And it actually worked really, really great. And
we melted the tailgate.
Well, we melted the tailgate. So that was just the beginning of figuring out,
it's been a process.
Some of the things we needed to adapt and fix. But it was our proof of concept. And so from there, we just started taking it more and more and more seriously. And in 2017, we took it very seriously and hired an industrial engineer to draw up and design what we have today, which is our Dragn Grill.
Here's something that we noticed along the way and if you think back to as early as we started this, 2012, 2013, a lot has happened in industry and in the outdoor market from then to now. Yeti coolers has come on. And at first, when we were looking at this, we would doubt ourselves, we'd doubt our idea and think, well, this thing's going to have to be so tough and so rigid, and it's going to be a little bit more expensive. And we thought, well, maybe people aren't going to like it. And I spat my Coke in my buddy's face the first time he told me he paid $400 for a cooler, because I knew that coolers were $49. So the rise of the Yeti really gave us a lot of encouragement, a lot of market proof that there is a market for a better quality product in the outdoor industry. And so, 2014, like he was saying, so long spans of time would go by, and we didn't know what to do, So we had that legs cut off grill for a year before we started getting busy and starting to remodel it and things like that. And then we cladded it with diamond tread. because we thought that looked trucky.
And it's incredibly tough material too.
Yeah,
So
really tough material. And then so this model here, I don't have a real up close of it here.
it's kind of down here, but it's too bright.
Yeah, that's one that we had custom built at a machine shop in Minot.
Central Machine. Yeah.
Yep, Central Machine in Minot made that for us. It cost a fortune, I kid you not. By the time we had that thing made, we were like, all right, we're pot committed. We have to take this thing all the way to the finish. And so, but it worked. I mean, it proved the concept. We attached it to the gate. We were super excited we had that done. And then like 2 more years went by. We didn't know what to do because obviously it wasn't like, ready to go to market. It was just a proof of concept. It had a lot of problems. And like he said, it was later after that we discovered, and we met this guy, Robo, from Dallas, Texas, and he directed us to an industrial engineer that was able to help us get a more legitimate design. And that is what we have now. That's our Dragn Grill, 4th or 5th prototype, and we're in deep. I tell you what, we're in deep now by the time we got this thing. So here's like some of the things that we've gone through. So many thoughts, so many problems to overcome, and troubleshooting and design elements and things like that. And here's some of the things that we knew the grill had to be for it to meet our demands, for it to meet our standards of what this thing would be. It'd have to be a super tough grill. And be able to withstand riding around on a tailgate. This means that it is not like made of the super thin tin that the one in your backyard is made of. This grill is tough. It can withstand, the tools and for me it's shingle bundles, whatever happens to be in the truck bed. So our grill is super tough. It's big enough, great for us to cook for the crews. Often I have 8-10 guys on a job site, and to cook for them, I don't want the
Weber Q.
The Weber Q, the tiny little grill. And this is one thing we noticed about the grill industry is just like the cooler industry was, we noticed that although there are fantastic, high quality, even super expensive grills that you buy for your backyard patio setup and things like that, there's white space in this grill market. There actually isn't a high quality portable grill in the market that we have found aside from our Dragn Grill, what we've created. The Weber Q being, one of the better ones, but it's tiny, cotter pin, kind of ridiculous thing. And so we thought maybe we're onto something where we've got a high quality product where in the marketplace right now there isn't even a high quality product. Not to mention some of our patents, which is the methodology of attaching it to the tailgate so that when you drop the tailgate, it's just ready to grill.
And another key patent is, and our main question we always get is what happens to the grease when you're done grilling and you tip that grill up. That's one of the things we designed was the grease still slides into its grease tray when the grill is tipped up in the vertical position.
And there's a reservoir there, so we don't want grease all over people's nice truck. So here's a few examples of the grill in action. Mounted to the tailgate with the tailgate shut. There it is. It hardly takes up any space in the pickup bed. And I found it to be very convenient. And then it's a quick release, quick on, quick off. If you do need it out of the way to load things up into your pickup bed or something like that, it clicks on, clicks off just like a ski rack or something. It's just quick. And it shows off well. It looks amazing. And we've just had a lot of fun. We've had a lot of fun putting it to use, taking it out to the job site and trying it out and proving the concept to ourselves and to some of our friends and family. It's really, to look at him standing on it, it's a really tough grill. We took it to some trade shows and noticed right away that we couldn't just have a grill that only goes on the tailgate. And so this inspired some new design elements, not only that it needs to be a usable product, not just on a tailgate, but when it clicks off, can I put it on a picnic table? Yes, I can.
It's very interesting how it all came about because we were at these trade shows and people liked the grill and they didn't care about the tailgate option. They wanted it in their backyard and we were kind of like, okay, I guess we'll figure something out there. So we actually built this backyard cart right here in Bismarck in our shop with the same attachment plate so you can go right from your tailgate right to your backyard cart. And so now it's kind of like, now you only need to own one grill.
And it's this, and we maintain the same theme. It's got pneumatic, kind of trucky off-road tires, so it can actually roll across the yard like you would expect a cart grill to be able to do. It turned out really good. We maintain the diamond tread appeal, aesthetic, and we're pretty happy with how that turned out. And so we had a much better response when the grill was not just a tailgate grill, when it could do both. In fact, it can be your tailgate grill and it can be your backyard grill. You only need one grill now because it's big enough to service all your needs and convenient. We've got all kinds of other products in the works. This is for down the road as we get more off the ground. Just like Yeti. I mean, did you know that Yeti started with just coolers? And I think one of their newest releases is dog dishes. So they've gotten into a little bit of everything, and I don't know if we'll do all of that.
And don't forget about the $50 bottle opener.
But yeah, $50 bottle opener, and I don't know. So the Yeti brand has really become a powerful force in the outdoor market, and we really see our Dragn Grill. Audacious as this might sound, but our dream is that the Dragn Grill would be a game-changing brand in the outdoor industry, just like Yeti has been in the cooler industry. So yeah, we're 5 years and 180 grand into this thing, and in my financial world, I tell you what, that is pot committed. I'm all in. It's like that's all there is. So this is as far as we've gotten. We have we have really gotten an amazing amount of work done on that 180,000. We have the prototype that you see here, not this one. The
one I'm hugging down there.
Huh? Yeah, the one he's hugging, and the shiny one in the nice picture that I showed earlier. That prototype was actually made at a manufacturing facility in China that is ready to take our mass order, and so we're all ready to that gate. And so the next step is to commit the funding needed. I got to make a down payment on a minimum on a large order, and then pay for tooling. And so that's the next hurdle, is the large amount of funds that it's going to take to get from here to the next gate, which is inventory, having inventory and product on the ground. We're very busy, between my 7 kids and our 3 businesses and things like that. So it's a side hustle. We have more time for it in the winter when we're kind of seasonal out of the construction industry. So all the progress that you see made here, it's largely been, like January to March type burns, where each winter comes and we start scratching our heads and we get a little restless. It's cold outside and we start thinking of things. And so, and that's how it's gotten as far as it has, between just all that physical and grunt work getting done in the cold months of the winter. And the rest of the progress we'd have to attribute to the kind of an amazing team that has coalesced and gathered around this thing, and some really, really amazing people here in Bismarck, but also in Dallas and Austin, Texas. We've met some amazing entrepreneurs. We've gone to some conferences and met a lot of amazing people. We've been to some mastermind groups in Utah, and have had very, very respectable entrepreneurs gather around us and help us move the ball forward. And we've got Rob Hendrickson. Rob Hendrickson used to do product launches for Sony, used to do marketing layouts for Blockbuster. He was not responsible for not diving into the online, to the streaming.
But he did encourage that. He said, hey, this Netflix thing, and Blockbuster said, we're not worried about that.
So yeah, he used to do marketing layouts for Sony, or product launches for Sony and marketing layouts for Blockbuster. Real experienced guy in the marketing world. And Bradley Abbott, he's our genius design engineer there that did all the 3D renderings and had the connections to the manufacturing facilities and things like that. To be honest, I don't know who this guy is. So that's Robo's buddy. But we've had a lot of help here too. Molly Jengdahl is our marketing person for Capital Exteriors and Superior Supply here in Minot, and she's been instrumental in helping us keep things moving online and figuring out marketing and funnels and things like that. She's brilliant. And then Ron Lynch. Ron Lynch was instrumental in launching GoPro. He's a fellow that found the guy selling cameras at a trade show, just like we're selling grills at trade shows, and said, hey, we should put this on TV. Woke the guy up in his moving van where he was sleeping, and took GoPro to television. He had a great idea. This is one of the stories he tells. They put GoPro on TV, advertising as you can buy it at Best Buy, and this was a tremendous risk because he didn't have a deal with Best Buy. And so it was going to go one way or the other. They were going to get their butts sued by Best Buy, or Best Buy was going to call and say, hey, we need some of these cameras. And that's what happened. So that was kind of a neat story for Ron Lynch as he marketed that GoPro camera. But he's become a friend, and is ready for us to, advance this thing to the next level. And that next level will be ordering product and having that funding secured and things like that. And that brings us to the opportunity that we have today. We're just super grateful to have had the opportunity to tell our story and visit with you all and present. And that's our Dragn Grill.
Awesome. Let's give them a hand. So I met these guys just before the 9 o'clock happened, and they said, we're used to answering some crazy questions, so let's try them out. Let's see if they can answer our questions. I'm sure there's a lot kind of rolling around in your minds. There were a few questions I had that were already answered, so we'll take a seat, and we've got a mic runner, Tyler, and he can get to you if you have a question.
Hey, thank you.
Is this on? There we go. Really cool product. Just I had a couple thoughts. Like you have, that last photo shows the propane tank just kind of dangled, sitting on the bottom. You ever think of like another product where it might fasten to the side of the tail bed or the bed of the truck, and just have another opportunity to sell something there? And also with the table that it sits on, a different idea, maybe like take it the construction route and have it like a collapsible miter saw table, where it actually collapses down, secures to that, and you can just like haul it around, has some rugged tires, and just to play off the construction theme more too. But really cool product though.
Thank you.
Yep. We I think years ago we thought of that propane tank holder. There are some out there available where you can fasten propane tanks to the sidewall of the truck, and so we got through the grill design and everything like that. Started running out of money, so I didn't want to start designing our own propane tank fastener yet. I just thought maybe we could white label something with another company that already makes them, but that is definitely in the plan to get that, because I have definitely had a propane tank rolling around my pickup bed going, could this blow up?
It's dangerous.
This doesn't seem cool. So yeah, definitely working on that. And then the collapsible cart that our design engineer he started drawing up design for a collapsible cart.
And we even committed funds towards that design.
Yep.
And then pull the plug.
Well, we pulled the plug just because we wanted to finish the grill first, because that was like, one thing at a time. So yeah, we're actually in progress on both those ideas.
And we're fighting about whether the collapsible cart should be a receiver hitch mounted. That's kind of my thing, but it makes it kind of heavy duty requirements to do that.
Yeah, because then it kind of applies to SUV owners as well, if you can just put
Slide
that
into
cart
receiver
in a
hitch.
receiver hitch. Yeah.
I'm not surprised that you're looking at China for manufacturing, but I wonder what went into that decision and what happened. Did you look at any American firms, and what was what is the deal? Why do we lose manufacturing to China? I know they work for 10 cents an hour, but what's the issue here?
The manufacturing in China is not like a commitment of ours or something like that. It's of course it's cost related, but it's got to do with the technology of their tooling. It's so available, and they're so aggressively ready and able to do those things. And so our connections in Dallas already know how to utilize those advantages and things like that. So Bradley Abbott, our design engineer that already has manufacturing connections and those relationships in China, that's just been the most expedient so far. Down the road, just like Yeti has, and Yeti started in the Philippines and Taiwan with their manufacturing. Down the road, they were able to afford to engage in some manufacturing in the United States, and we would love to be able to do that too. It's just a little bit more difficult to get started, more costly to even figure out who could do it and how they could do it and things like that. It would just take a bit deeper pockets. We would love to embrace that in the future, because I think our demographic would greatly appreciate it. to be manufactured in America, and so that's absolutely a goal of ours, to be able to transfer that. And I've even talked to some very capable businessmen here. Scott Bintz in Jamestown has been a good supporter of ours and has encouraged us that there's probably some Hutterite colonies and maybe some manufacturers in Dickinson that could take a crack at it, but he also acknowledged that it would be much more expensive out the gate, and we're already pushing the limit, or we're already pushing what we feel, it's probably just an emotional limit, but we already feel like we're pushing the edge of
What we won't charge for the grill.
yeah, the grill is already expensive because of what it has to be, because of how tough it has to be. So it's already kind of a pricier item, and so to add cost to that by manufacturing here, we're not prepared to do it yet. But if we can figure out how to do it economically in the future, we'll absolutely embrace that.
You guys kind of answered my question a little bit about your price point, and is there an option for like a payment plan kind of thing, or how are you looking at it in terms of the price point, and also just an idea, Moorhead, the Dragons. Could you throw some grills out that way they could use for tailgating, kind of a promo dragon on dragon situation?
Yeah, we love the marketing ideas come hard and fast, and we love them all. I'm sorry, the first part of your question was price point. Price point is kind of determined, and it isn't set in stone, but we feel like right now it's probably going to be $12.99 for the grill, and then another. And like I'm saying, these are like really in flux because we don't have all of our hard costs established, especially on the cart. But I think the cart is going to be less than $350. So the combination of grill and cart might be $1,600, $1,650, something like that. And there's enough built in there. The reason that the reason we've sort of arrived at that number is to, we've done a lot of research and been advised by, a lot of these knowledgeable fellows in Dallas that there needs to be enough money in the product for a distributor and for a retailer and for, some shipping and some returns and things like that. So, the price point, is something that we can. And then the other part of the price point battle is that, and this is another thing that Ron Lynch told us, because we had ideas way at the beginning what the price point ought to be for the thing that we were trying to make, and we just had no idea what we were talking about, and we were, just like saying things we didn't know anything about. And Ron Lynch encouraged us that that you can't make a price point based on your bias. He said you don't know what the market wants to pay for your product. He said you have to let the market decide what your price point is going to be, and that happens through a process of split testing, and there's a lot of processes that go into that. And so we'll be more on top of that as we begin to actually be able to offer the product to the market. We'll get some inventory, and we'll start testing those funnels and testing those price points and see where there's support. And so it's amazing what we've learned about business, and we were not much for businessmen when we started this in 2013. We were a little, I was a rain gutter installer with a couple of hands, and so the conferences that we've been to and the books that we've read and the things that we've learned to get to where we're at now have really expanded all of our horizons and our local business opportunities and things like that too.
And what a blessing in disguise too, because when we were on that roof in 2013, if you had said, "Hey, in 2019 you'll have spent $180,000 and you won't have sold one yet," I would have said, "Well, we're not doing that."
We're not doing it.
But we did do it, and it's a day-to-day thing, and the value that we've gotten from it, just in our own education and business, has just been tremendous.
Yeah. Now we have upwards of 40 people working for us, and industry happening all across the state, and it's exciting.
This question is from Twitter. Can you talk about the family dynamics of your business? Any challenges or happy times?
We're 2 of 8 siblings, and I've got great relationship with pretty much all of my siblings and things like that. But Anton is the only guy that I could have possibly engaged with long term as a business partner, and we have happy times. We have a great time in business every day. and we've had hard times financially, but we get along really good.
Yeah.
We were waiting for your response. It's all great. Yeah, no problem.
One difficult thing is I'm with my 7 kids, 8th on the way. I'm quite the financial burden on our companies. You know, my financial needs are a little bit incongruent with his. So, but having really good, my accountant is here, Wade. It's Wade Point CPA, Wade Kusler, has been instrumental in keeping the wheels underneath us in terms of managing. You know, everything's okay as long as it's accounted for and everybody knows where everything's at. And so some of those difficulties with, you know, me being a financial burden in the lean times to our companies are overcome by really, really good accounting. And so that, you always know where your basis is at. And I've seen, you know, we're not the only entrepreneurs in our family. I've seen, you know, things happen with, you know, siblings and things like that where if they don't know where things are at, well, then things get awfully awkward. But we've had really great counsel to help us stay in business.
Yep.
Got another question right over here.
How heavy is it? Would it be hard for someone to attach it and detach it frequently from their truck?
Our first prototype was about 100 pounds, and I hate lifting it. It was 100% stainless steel, and it was just too heavy. And so with our next prototype, we made a better mixture of stainless steel and aluminum. And there's no rusting parts on the grill, and so it has to be either aluminum or stainless. And so the inside of it is stainless steel walled, and the outside of it is 1/8-inch thick diamond tread. And so I think we've come right in at around 55 pounds, which is, you know,
Super doable.
yeah, it's really not a bad lift, and it feels like it's sturdy, and you know, I think it's like you could drop it and it's not gonna shatter into pieces. And so I think we're coming in at about 55 pounds, and it feels really good.
Another great feature I forgot to even mention though is that and this is one of the patents is that our removable grease tray, our grease tray is removable. The whole bottom of the grill slides out. And I think there's other grills that have that, so I don't have that exact patent, but ours being a grease tray that can catch grease even in the vertical position and also is removable is a key patent. But the whole bottom of the grease tray slides out, so it's the easiest grill in the world to clean because everywhere grease falls, the whole thing comes out. You can pressure wash it if you want. It's good stuff.
I've got a backyard grill at my house. I've never cleaned it because you'd have to take the grates out, take the burner covers off, take the burners out, get that bottom pan cleaned out. I'm never going to do that. I'm just going to wait till it bursts into flames and I'll buy a new one. But with the Dragn Grill, you don't want to buy a new one because they're a little expensive. So being able to pull the whole bottom of the grill out, clean it is like, that's like one of the things I'm most excited about with this grill.
So we talked about weight. Can we talk about some of the other dimensions? How high is it? And thus, how much room do you lose in the bed of the truck?
It's about 25 inches wide, 17 inches deep. And you know, we designed it around what the average tailgate is on a Ford, Dodge, or Chevy. Height-wise, I think it's 13 inches. So, we're out of slides.
You could put a chicken in it, but I don't think a turkey.
Yeah, but yeah, with the grill tipped up, you know, I've not been disappointed with the amount of space it's eaten up in my pickup bed.
It's a whole lot better than ratchet strap in your backyard set up into it. That's what we've noticed.
and we see that all the time.
All the time. We have a following on Facebook of people that send us photos of ratchet strapped backyard grills into pickup beds, and so that's been a lot of fun.
So that's pretty good. 13 inches, you know, that's a little over a foot. If you have a 5-foot bed, it's maybe makes it a little less useful. What about heat? When you operate this thing and you cook and you do lunch, how long do you have to wait till that thing cools down before you're melting bags or buckets that touch it or near it?
Because it's double walled, and I've tested this myself. When you are running it, you can put your hands right on it. Because, you know, stainless steel inside and that
At least the lower portion.
Yeah, the lower portion. The 1/8-inch thick diamond tread on the outside, it really...
It's pretty insulated.
Yeah, it's pretty insulated. There's some area on top where you probably shouldn't touch it, but it cools down fairly quickly. And
I think you could hit the road in 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea what that first order is going to look like? And as you've been going to these trade shows, do you have kind of pre-orders or orders that you already need to fill?
In our trade shows, we probably pre-sold, I don't know, a few dozen. And what it was kind of an awkward thing. Like, we're at trade shows in January, February, and March, and everybody who wants to buy a grill doesn't want to pay for it and wait till, we're about 6 months out. If we needed to pre-sell 300 grills to self-fund this thing.
We thought we were going to self-fund with pre-sales, and it was a difficult close.
It was a difficult close because it was 6 months out if we hit our goal, and so no one's getting their grills till September, October, and nobody wanted to
miss their season.
So we couldn't close the sales, and that's where we're kind of finding that had we had grills in stock, had we had the actual product, we would have sold a lot of them. And so we do have some orders we need to fill. Your first question was something about, okay, so I think we can fit 150 grills in a shipping container. And so we need to commit to a 1,000 unit order, but we don't,
factory turned on.
They'll let us order 150 at a time for 24 months until we fulfill that first 1,000. And so that's kind of really nice that we can just, hey, we need 150 of them, get them coming. So
some of the amenities that they have, self-starter, how does the lid latch down, and then how do you get the grates out to clean those?
Ooh, the lid latching down, that was a debate for months.
the first one though, the 3 knobs on it are all self-igniting knobs. And we did have a good debate about whether it should be a push-button igniter or self-igniting. We opted with the self-igniting because the push-button needs a AAA battery, and I didn't want that.
I think we could do a mechanical one, but jury's still out on that.
Mechanical one. I have found that the self-igniting knobs are easy to use. The grates are really easy. They work on like a hinge on the back side of the grill and a wing nut on the front. So when you want to clean your burner covers and stuff, you can just undo that wing nut and the grill or the grates just lift up like that. And then you can put them back down and fasten them down. And the hood, we have spring-loaded, heavy-duty, like toolbox latches on both sides. And so them being spring-loaded, you get like, I don't know, 20 or 40 pounds of pressure, and they lock in, and like that hood does not, you can't budge it when the latches are down.
And that was important because if it's riding around in the truck bed, we didn't want it back there sounding like a noisy garbage can.
Yeah, 'cause a moving part is a wearing part. So the goal was that nothing moves in this grill. Every element of everything is fastened down, and so it doesn't have any rattle to it.
Okay. Now I don't have any personal experience with this, but I've got a friend that made some different things, and one thing he had used, and another thing I've seen used with some other products is like Kickstarter or something like that, because now you're going into essentially a world market and taking this worldwide right away, and just wondering if you went down that road or thought about that.
We're absolutely going to utilize Kickstarter and Indiegogo for funding down the road. We've been cautioned against using it before we have fulfilled at least one run of manufacturing, because what can happen is Chinese sellers watch Kickstarter really close, and if something takes off and is a winner on Kickstarter, China can beat you to it, to the market. So the risk for us going to Kickstarter before we have completed a production cycle, a hiccup happens in production, and if we don't meet our delivery goals and things like that, pretty soon we'll be in 3rd or 4th place behind a market that is competing with us.
Yeah, and if I don't know if any of you know what the coolest cooler is. The coolest cooler was a Kickstarter product, and it's just a tragic story because he put it on. He got one prototype made. He put it on Kickstarter, and it went viral. And he raised, I think, like 8 or 9.
12 million.
He raised $12 million in 30 days in pre-sales, but he didn't have manufacturing agreements signed.
The cost came in too high.
Everybody knew he had $12 million, and the price of his cooler and manufacturing went up and up and up. Eventually, I think it cost him, I can't quite remember, but
cost him money to
he
fulfill.
was going to lose $5 or $10 on every grill he was going to fulfill, or something like that.
So
And it was like,
so he had to go to market, and he actually had to sell, I don't know how many tens of thousands of coolers in the market before he could fulfill the Kickstarter orders to raise the money. And I think UPS or FedEx wound up coming in and bailing him out because they wanted to deliver them. And so they wound up being a funding partner.
but just a tragic story. I mean, imagine that popping champagne when you got that $9 million
Raise.
funding, and then for it to not work out. It's just-
Yeah, so we don't want to have that same trouble. So we will utilize it as a marketing because it does have an amazing audience, and that is gung ho to take a risk and buy a new product. That's definitely the genre of a Kickstarter buyer. And so I think we have buyers in Kickstarter, so we'll be doing that, but it'll be post that first production run so that we know we can take an order and fulfill it, and we've tested the machine and it works.
So we've done pretty good so far. You guys are, rolling with the punches.
Oh, sorry.
But we've got a fellow prototyper here. So let's buckle in here.
Okay.
I'm looking at him, wondering what it's going to be, and it's probably going to be a little more extreme here. Go for it, Evan.
Does it come in pink? No, come on now. Now I'm nervous. I was going to talk a little bit about Coolest and see if you would. I have a Coolest, and I followed every moment of that story with a lot of interest.
I hope I didn't butcher all the facts.
No, you were right on.
Okay.
And in the industry I'm in, I just wanted that ride. It was worth the $300 or whatever to hop on. We ended up kicking in an extra $100. He sent a thing out, said, "Hey, I'll tell you what, you might get your Coolest, but if you give me $100 more, I promise you'll get it soon." So we did that, got the Coolest. It's awesome. And I guess I really like your Yeti parallel, but guess what? I think the Coolest opened the door for Yeti. And so nobody had spent $400 or $350 on a cooler until he came along. And so I think in your shoes, you don't want to be him.
Yeah, we don't want to open the door.
Right.
For,
and so along those lines, I don't know if you've talked to people at some of the shows you've been to, but how awesome would it be to have Yeti's name on your cooler, possibly? Is that something you've thought about?
I know just like you followed Coolest, I have followed Yeti. And Yeti was founded by the Cedar brothers in 2006. They incorporated, and they sold their coolers because it was an expensive thing, and the market probably wouldn't have bought $400 coolers from the Cedar brothers in a mass environment. They sold their coolers only to deep sea fishermen in local markets through local retailers near where they lived, and they did that for a few years. After 5 or 6 years, they sold 2/3 of their company to Cortec Group in New York City for $67 million, and that group in 2012 bought them out, and that group is what turned Yeti into the company that we all know and love. And so we have really embraced their story and things like that, and I really see us doing something similar where we get our grill to production, and we'll have to find the tightest niche of buyers that will embrace it as a new product, the Kickstarter niche, maybe hunters and fishers, truck owners, enthusiasts, fanatics. Those will be my small niche that'll embrace my product in the early years. And then I see, just like Yeti Brothers did, selling equity to a larger partner that can help us scale.
But we have talked about pitching it to Yeti, and we do through Ron Lynch and our partner Robo. We do have ways to
Connections there.
probably get a meeting with them, but we did want to get through a few
Or the group that bought them, Cortec Group, I think would be a great, because they already have the audience. They already have our customer.
But his point is saying if it had a Yeti logo on it, the instant sales.
Oh, instant sales, yeah.
And so,
Really good.
but I wanted to get through a few shipping containers first, work out all the kinks, have some sales.
It's good to have that that positive feedback that shows, yeah, there is really a market for this thing. It reduces the risk on their end. But the horsepower somebody like that could bring in terms of that ramp, I think, it took Coolest a while to get going, and I think that just left the door open. I think the rest of the world saw, wow, look at all of these tens of thousands of people that are just
spending hundreds of dollars,
very willing to spend that kind of money on a
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, this is terrible. I'm going to bring us from this beautiful strategic discussion, and I'm just going to get tactical. And my husband will tell you that's my space.
Okay.
So you got a container load. It's coming in, 150 of them. Container's pretty big. It's going to take some storage, and you both are incredibly busy. How are you going to handle order fulfillment? Are you going to do fulfilled by Amazon and ship direct to them? Or are you going to store it here in Bismarck and do the order fulfillment yourself? Or what are you thinking?
Just like Amazon does order fulfillment for Amazon sellers, we've gone to Amazon sellers conferences, and we've been told that our product is not a good Amazon product because we need to educate the buyer it's a new product. People go to Amazon to buy the thing that they know is there, and it's a race to the bottom. They search it, and they're going to buy the cheapest one. And they don't get up and leave their chair until it's on its way. That means that our product is going to be sold more through an advertisement or a slap in the face funnel or something like that, where we're getting people's attention. But there are companies that contract fulfillment, just like Amazon does, and so we've imagined that maybe the first shipping container we got
shop space.
We have shop space, and we could facilitate it maybe for the first go round when every dollar counts and we need to keep every bit of margin that we can in-house. We're willing to do it, and it'd be exciting anyway to ship out the first order ourselves. But like our friends in Dallas, they know how to do this, and they've got some. We actually have this amazing pro forma Excel sheet built out that shows the cost, and we can turn different things on and off, and fulfillment is one of those things. And so we can build it in, we can have it done for us at scale. Maybe we take it back in-house like Yeti has, who knows.
Got one question in the back here.
Yeah, this is more of a, I don't know, it's a little bit of a throwback, but I have a question. Can you fit 2 on a tailgate?
If it's a big enough tailgate.
I've never been asked that question. That's amazing.
You just got to bring 2 trucks.
2 trucks.
Buy 2 grills.
I think it's possible you could get 2 on it. I think it would be possible.
Or contemplate a removable handle on one side so you can nest them together. There you go.
Yeah, the handles are easy to remove.
There you go.
So
Saves
yeah,
some
you could.
space.
It would definitely fit then if you wanted 2 of them side by side.
Yeah, if they went all the way together.
All right, so there's that. And then I'm just sitting here thinking there's 2 really good, I think, since you're looking for that lower volume funding run, I think the oil patch in general, right? I think that's a good spot. And I think the other one would be the NDSU parking lot.
Yeah, we've had many invitations.
In our trade shows, where I think we probably saw 20 or 25,000 people, and the most common questions were, "Are you going to take it on Shark Tank, and are you going to a Bison game?" And so
we're definitely going to a Bison game.
I think my gut feeling is our niche customer that we're going to be going after and getting started with is going to be college football, not just Bison. There are so many colleges, and there are so many college football games, and so many people are dedicated to their schools and their teams,
and to the
and will spend any amount of money to enjoy their hobby of tailgating before their college football game. And so in the feedback I got from the trade shows was college football, because the alumni they want products for their tailgate,
which
parties.
brings up all the questions about licensing and team logos and things like that. And so we're definitely exploring those kinds of things too.
I have a quick question here. So if they're at a tailgate event, you're done grilling, put up your tailgate, go into the game, your truck's sitting outside for 3 hours. What's to stop somebody from taking your grill, your $1,200 grill, while the game's going on? I mean, I know it locks down, but is there a key system?
Padlock loop.
Okay.
Yep.
So just a loop in the...
Yeah, you can buy your own master padlock. So we don't really want to get into the padlock game where we're giving people keys and stuff like that, but there is going to be a part on it where you have the option to lock it down yourself, because we've thought about that too, where it's like...
Our first prototype that we handmade, it was stolen. We had it disconnected so that we could hook up to we had it off the tailgate, but still in the pickup bed, so we could hook up to a fifth wheel trailer, and it made it 2 nights, and then it was gone.
And this is a bit sidetracked, but I can't believe people don't steal tailgates, because I tried to find a tailgate for our trade show to have on display. They're very expensive, hard to find a used one, and you could go steal a tailgate off of almost any pickup in America. It's like, so if you want a side hustle, not legal, but go grab some tailgates and
they're worth $1,000
sell them on
each.
Bizman. Just kidding. Don't do that.
It's not entrepreneurial.
We've got time for maybe one more question. In the back, in the middle.
Couple of things. One with the oil patch, with somebody mentioning that. I know somebody at Pucklich that the oil field, a lot of the companies will buy trucks for people that are long-term. And maybe it's a cheaper way to market it is it's cheaper than a pickup. So if you just add the grill in, if the market gets down.
Yeah,
right.
But with the tariffs in things going on with China, is that going to drive the cost up? Because metals are one of those high tariffed items.
We've kind of gotten a verbal guarantee from our industrial design engineer, who is our connection to the factory in China, that the initial price per unit that he negotiated for us was locked in. And so he has said that post the tariffs. So I'm thinking we won't have a change in our costs, but I guess it's just a verbal.
It certainly is, a topic of conversation, and we just don't know for sure about that yet.
Okay. We'll give these guys a round of hand one more time. Thanks, John.
Thanks.
Anton.
Yep.
Appreciate your time. We're going to have Tyler ask one more question. Two questions.
Mine in, but we had a lot of questions. So listening to you guys talk, the amount you've learned through this process is apparent. I think we could talk here for another hour if we wanted to. For entrepreneurs, it's really important for them to know what they're good at, but also as important to know what they're not good at and connect with resources to fill in those gaps. Can you just, real quick, what advice would you give to an entrepreneur trying to get an idea off the ground of how do you identify those gaps and connect with the kind of high caliber resources that you guys have connected with?
I would say, just an entrepreneur in general, getting off the ground, have a good accountant.
Have a good accountant
is number one.
That's good. But then also, you have to go on faith. It's okay that you don't know what you don't know. It's okay. Test the viability of your idea with a grain of salt, because you're going to have naysayers. You're going to have your best buddy tell you it's crap. And so you got to be tough enough to withstand that, but you also got to be honest enough, if you're getting a majority of that, to revisit your idea. But if you're getting good feedback, if you got a good idea and you really, really believe in it, I think you just keep pushing, because there's nothing like activity. There's nothing like activity for getting it done. It's on one hand we think, this is taking us so long and so much money, but on the other hand, it's like, we've gotten so much done, and if you actually counted the days of full-time effort, it's probably not 100. In 5 years, it's probably not 100
actual full
days of trying to get this done, and there's a snowball effect to it, because pretty soon there's a team around it, and there's other people thinking about it and helping you and advising you, and I just you can't worry about. You have to worry about money, but you can't worry about it too much, because you don't understand how there's money out there. There's money out there, and we haven't even raised it yet, but I know it's out there, and we've turned down some money because we didn't like the strings attached and things like that. But if the idea is valid, I believe so hard that there is room in the market for the next great idea. And if you can push through the self-doubt, and if you can push through the, those hurdles of confidence and effort and expense, and commit your time and your energy and, a few of your own dollars, eventually I believe you can get there.
So find an idea you care about and be biased towards action, right?
Absolutely.
That's
yeah.
awesome. That's great. Okay, so last question, really this time. How could our 1 Million Cups community here in Bismarck, Mandan help support Dragn Grills going forward?
We need $24,000 from everybody in this room.
All right, we've locked the back doors, and we're going to start here in the front row.
That would do it. No, really, we do need a funding partner or a team or a funding team, and it isn't even that much. I mean, to get us, I see it as gates that we get to, and after, by the time we get to the next gate, we might need 10 times as much money. I don't know, but right now, to get to the point of making a down payment on our large order quantity, and having a shipping container and having paid for tooling and having a little bit of walking around money to market that first container, we need a little bit more than $250,000. And so I would love to find the exactly right partner, or team of partners to fund even that first. I think it's a small amount, actually. We've funded everything 100% ourselves so far, and I think we have taken all the high-risk funding upon ourselves, research and development, junk prototypes and traveling and,
patents.
Patents are expensive, and even going to these trade shows, to sell a product that we actually can't sell. This stuff was all expensive. And I think we've taken all those high-risk things upon ourselves. The next part is really, there's some real assets to it. The next funding round is there's going to be inventory. There's going to be something to secure it against. I might have the funding partners already, to be honest. But I would listen to many more offers from funding partners to make sure that it's the right guy. Because the right guy to fund it at the next step and be a part of the team and would just be such a welcome asset, somebody that's able to help us along the way. And I think there's a tremendous opportunity.
Because we've had some offers, and it's like, it's not the right group, or it's not the right person to be working with on this, because we would have to, it wasn't the same, we weren't in the same industries, and so we're also looking for the right funding partner.
Cool. Thanks so much, guys. One more time, applause for Dragn Grills. Thanks for coming out, and we'll see you next week.
Hey, thanks.
You got that rhythm.